3 famous songs, 3 techniques from 3 different decades. These are not just 3 random songs I pulled out of nowhere. These actually will help our 3 most important techniques, and I'm going to play them in a different way that you've probably never seen before, because they certainly weren't recorded that way. But if you do play them the way I'm going to show you how to play them, it will absolutely improve your technique. Okay, we're going back to the 1970s to work on our Picado technique. That's when we play index and middle rest strokes. Really essential for playing all of our Spanish guitar melodies. Then we're going to fast forward to the 1980s to work on our Arpeggio technique. That's when we play thumb, middle, index, ring in different combinations and different patterns. And then we're going to end up in the 90s to work on Rasgueado technique. That's when we hit the strings with our nails in different ways. Now the 1970s was absolutely the heyday of the singer-songwriter, steel string acoustic, great songs, really awesome lyrics, artists like James Taylor and Cat Stevens. And one of my favorites is Wild World, but specifically for this video, we're talking about Picado technique. That's this guy right here. Usually going to be index and middle rest strokes, and the chorus of Wild World is great because it gives us an opportunity to work on strumming as well. So for all of these examples I'm going to show you, there's going to be like collateral improvement or bonus help that we're going to get with other techniques as well, because we rarely have just one technique in a vacuum. And the most fun we can have, I think, is when we combine all those different techniques. But let's look at that chorus. We got a C chord and then a G chord. We don't have to play all the strings in an F chord. That's a 1 to the 5 to the 4, and then we have this descending major scale. But then fitting that into the chords is another challenge too. But this is a great exercise because we're moving across strings pretty quickly. 2 notes on that string, 2 notes here, 3 notes here. The challenge here is to not play the same finger twice in a row. We're trying to strictly alternate. So 2 notes, 2 notes, 3 notes, and then just 1 note here, and we're going to jump over with our thumb to get to that G chord. Challenge there is to get your thumb ready right there. I did a thumb rest stroke because we're doing this rhythm where we play the root note, and he does this, he's using a pick of course, but he's playing the root of the chord twice. So the first one's more staccato, it's a punchy first one, and then a long one. Now from the 1980s, the late 80s, this is more of a hard rock song. Sweet Child of Mine, very famous. Arpeggios at the beginning. And he's playing it way up here, but I know most of you don't have a cutaway, so let's do this down in the 5th position. And we're not just going to play a normal arpeggio. This is going to be really great for your right hand. So even if you hate the song, try to do this. This is really cool. We're going to be playing multiple fingers on the same string, and it's really going to be great as a right hand exercise. So check this out. Some of the most common movements we make in fingerstyle guitar with this arpeggio technique are patterns where we go thumb, index, middle, ring. We could call that forward arpeggio, or the other way where we go thumb, ring, middle, index, or we could combine them together for a double arpeggio, and you could think of a million different combinations. Here's a Villalobos, which is one of the more crazy ones that you'll see. What we're going to do here is involve all of those fingers. Remember, we don't ever use the pinky unless, well, some people do, very few people do. But when you're doing this, which we'll see in the Rasgueo section in a minute, we will use it for that. But for when we're playing this direction, plucking the string, just don't use your pinky. But we're going to go here, thumb, ring, middle, index. See how that was a reverse or backward arpeggio, but I didn't do it on the same number of strings as fingers. So it's very weird and a great exercise. I'm going thumb, ring, middle, index, but the middle and index are happening on that G string. That alone is weird and good. Almost puts you in a tremolo position, playing multiple fingers on the same string. Then I reach out here with my ring finger. Notice my left hand here, this is how Slash does it, and it makes sense because it's a D shape. Instead of doing it like this, which would, that would actually be a great exercise for your left hand, but we got enough things to think about, right? So I'm gonna go pinky and then cram in there for that D shape. That's more familiar to us. Ring, index, index. So because I'm skipping this string, I'm skipping a finger. That is another great movement that is kind of hiding inside of that Villalobos study, is that ring and index. Here's the whole thing. Ring finger goes here. Still playing my thumb though. When I say ring finger, I'm talking about the left hand. I guess I should say the third finger. Now here, I'm going to play my thumb on that string because I'm trying to start everything with my thumb. It kind of makes sense. We do that a lot in classical guitar for things like this. The thumb, ring, middle, index. Now we have 3 fingers playing the same string. And we're back. The end of this riff is the same as the beginning, so we have to double the number of times we do it. Curious about nylon string guitar techniques? It's very right hand intensive, so check out my free workshop where we go over the 3 techniques I'm talking about in this video. We do a deep dive on how you should be using your joints and your knuckles and how we should be relaxed and the right trajectory to hit the strings and all that stuff. Check it out at the link below. Now for our Rasgueado technique, or Rasgueo, that's when we do this. It's not just what I just did. It could be really anytime that you hit your nails against the strings, but the most, I guess, traditional kind of the bass line, super common if you open up a flamenco book, we have this, pinky, ring, middle, index, and that gives us this sound. But what I'm about to show you is a famous song from Nirvana, so I already gave it away by just saying the band name. But this is going to help us hopefully solve a problem that a lot of people have with this technique. The main issue when people first start attempting this 4 strokes, we want them to be distinct and we want to hear 1, 2, 3, 4 different things, right? It's very likely though, before you get independence in these fingers, especially these 2, the middle and the ring, they're going to want to come out at the same time. So it's going to sound mushy. It'll sound like almost 1 movement, but or 3, but we want to hear 4 distinct things. Be sure to squeeze your fingers together. Like imagine your thumb and your pinky squeezing towards each other and all of these kind of cram in a little bit. Not like you're super tense, but a little bit. That helps us give some like friction and resistance as we release our fingers. If they're just not touching each other and spread out, you're gonna have a hard time controlling them for sure. But check this out. In Smells Like Teen Spirit, we have a power chord on F, and then a B flat. It's the same position. Just go to the floor, 1 set of strings. Go to the 4th fret, do the same thing. Now in that song, he goes like this. He does this string muting. It's 4 strokes there. The very first time it's 3, but after that he pretty uniformly does 4. But that's a perfect time for us to do what I was just talking about, and it's going to be a real challenge for you. Like, can you do this in time with that riff? Check it out. So what I'm doing there is going bum, 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 muting the strings entirely. Don't press them. It's kind of hard to do that down here, especially if you have low action, which I recommend having, because the strings are real close here. As soon as you press just a little bit, then we're going to hear actual notes. We don't want to hear any pitched notes at all, and we're going to go da 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 da, and then at that moment we're kind of thinking about the next chord and go up down with the index, then up here. Super cool exercise, and it really sounds great when you get it together. You could also cheat. It's not really cheating, but whenever you see a modern flamenco player do this where their thumb comes in like that, I know I have a weird thumb, it goes the other way. Insult me in the comments. But when you see them going like this, they're flicking off their thumb, and so that actually solves a lot of the problems that we typically have, like I was saying, with this technique. So you could go like this. Come here and flick. So much more powerful that way too. Or if that's too much for you right now, just use your index. Still a great exercise. A lot of open strings in between, and that's what makes that song sound so weird, you know, because he's in the key of F, I suppose, right there. But then the open strings sound horrible. But I guess that's kind of the point with that song. So that's 3 great ways to work on 3 great techniques. But if you haven't had enough, let's do 3 more. Now we could do a very famous song from the 1970s to work on Picado technique and Arpeggio technique. I'm kind of afraid to do it here lest I be litigated against by someone. but let's try it anyway with a B minor arpeggio. I have a root, third, fifth. That's on the 12th fret, the 10th, and the 14th here. What's interesting with this lick is that it's a group of 3 notes, but we're playing rhythmically in 4, and that is perfect for working on so many techniques for the right hand because it really trips us up. Remember, we're really striving to alternate with our index and middle, so we go index, middle, index, middle, index. So see what happened there? We started with the index, and then when I go back again to the beginning of the 3, now it's my middle finger. So it's very weird on the brain, and therefore a great exercise. Go up to the fret that's probably just below your highest fret for that last note there. Then we have an A arpeggio, E, G sharp. These are all just part of the chord. G, D, up to F sharp on the 14th fret. Then we have an E minor triad, kind of like the one we started with, but way down here, nice big stretch. Using my middle finger because it helps, it's easier to stretch these 2 guys, and then it makes the pinky stretch less hard. Great practice. What if we did that down here, took that whole riff down an octave, and we just go like this? Now we're working on a reverse arpeggio without the thumb. I'll add the thumb in a second. There I had to make a quick movement with my ring finger. A, M, I, A, M, I, A, M, A. Let's put the bass notes in there. A chord. And that was All Along the Watchtower. Now I was going to do Ain't Talking About Love by Van Halen, thinking that was the 80s, and then I remembered that's from the first album, 1978, but this is also a really great arpeggio exercise. Watch this. Really a tricky arpeggio with any way that you play it. I'm playing thumb, thumb, middle, index. And then I have to bar this little F here. That's so flamenco. you see this in a classic traditional Faruka. That would be wild if Eddie Van Halen got that from Faruka. You never know. But it just gives us the sound of the Aeolian scale. I'm going ring, middle's the G chord right here. Vibrato if you want to rock it out. And the chords for that, A minor to G, and we can get some Rasgueo practice there as well. If you Google famous songs from the 90s, you're going to see Wonderwall by Oasis there. I know as among guitar teachers and guitarists, that's really a crime to play that one, supposedly. But it's actually a really good practice for your index or for using these 2. It's kind of a flamenco thing. Squeezing these 2 together on a downstroke and playing an upstroke with your thumb. The rhythm of Wonderwall is not easy. Use your index. Those upstrokes at the end, up, 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 down, up, down, up. That can be rhythmically really tricky. And the key to doing that is to not stop. Because the moment that you hesitate, you're going to be traveling in the quote-unquote wrong direction with your strokes, and it's going to feel wrong. But you always get bonus points from me for doing one of those and throwing that in wherever you can. Drums in that song have this little kind of marching band thing there that we could kind of get that feel with a bone. If you made it this far in the video, you probably want to hear a Bon Jovi phrase. So check out this video and I'll show you how to play the intro to Wanted Dead or Alive for Spanish guitar. 3 techniques. Oops.